The swamps of Ecterius. Ecterians, swamp-born, often as brood. The renowned lizard folk emerging from within the swamplands of Ecterius, with physiques differing from gigantic muscular hulks to small, sleek and slender willowy sprinters. The Ecterian people greatly vary in shape and size, and even coloration among their kin. Born from a slew of bloodlines, each Ecterian usually possesses some resemblance with the rest of their bloodline, be it general shape, facial structure, or even scale density and affinity to the arcane. Having evolved in a way where all needs would be met by some of their ilk, the Ecterians overcame all struggles thrown their way via enduring from sheer hardiness. With a natural acclimation to the elements, their innate resistances to environmental factors and many more pieces to their natural arsenal, it is no wonder that they have proven themselves to be worthy and often feared foes and deeply respected allies. Additionally, they are capable of breathing underwater and possess enhanced vision in dimly lit areas, helpful for navigating the treacherous swamps at night, or hunting their quarries wherever they may lie, under the cover of darkness. Pure-blooded Ecterians hatch from eggs, whereas half-breeds are treated to live birthing. The Ecterian language, aptly named Ekgeheln, is a deeply percussive language that usually requires a lot of heavy consonants with few sly and cunning vowels in between. Due to the way this language has formed over the years, and the boldness with which every syllable is spoken, it was once given the slang title of the popping language, due to the motions one's jaw would have to form to replicate the native folks. Ofnanaran, warrior of the swamps, the god of war, the keeper of honor. Ofnanaran came to the realm of Hakkad as not but a caring ally to the god of the forest. But he came to be known by many, many more titles in the coming ages after the clay which was the primordial recess of Hakkad took shape and harbored life. Creator of the Ecterians, the lizard people of Ecterius, Ofnanaran created beasts that waded through water and earth alike, swam past oceans of blood and bone. However, such creatures would later come to be further improved, being handed the gift of speech, the strength of willpower and character, the blessing of individuality. The swamp god took great pleasure in his children's evolutionary road, watching with great interest and sparking many a journey throughout realms, finding ways to break the veil of secrecy between Arentia and Hakkad simply to contact his own spawn. A god worshipped by his people not as just a ruler and a guardian, but a cherishing father and a mentor. It is through him that the swamp dwellers learned the value of kinship and companionship, the meaning of family and the strength which lay within love and compassion. And more importantly, the strength of self, to never back down from one's own beliefs, to vouch for what they thought was right, to fight the greater fight, and bring a wider smile to those who waited. A fervor unmatched, only spoken of in encompassing waves of tall tales and godly stories shared throughout millennia. Tales speaking of Ofnanaran as none other than the warrior who single-handedly rushed into the fray and battled the father of demons, Makkorath, into the pits of Ivanthar's hellish recesses in a deep, maddening slumber during the year of peerless dreams. His symbols include a clawed hand clutching the hilt of a hammer, a row of fangs gathering in a circular shape, and 3 crocodilian scales. Among his favorite creations are the lake lurchers, massive behemoths of muscle and scale who channel divine lightning through their bodies and expel it as righteous fury. These beasts are capable of speech, understanding the common tongues, and are considered to be Ofna's will personified in the mortal world. They are sacred and are treated with the utmost of respect within Ecterian communities. Ofna's teachings are simple, to keep one's word and to stand united with those one holds dear, to protect that which is considered sacred and beloved. Failure to do so is not considered blasphemy, only a test. If one is to fail their beloved, be it an untimely death or disappointment, they will train to succeed. To avenge the fallen is the greatest honor among Ofna's ranks. Followers of Ofnanaran are often dubbed paladins of the Marsh god by other races, or Heptad Vodakyage in Ekgeheln, the language of the Ecterians, roughly translating to divine enforcers. They are warriors of great fortitude and commitment, often traveling alone, but never lost. Warriors who prove exceptional commitment to Ofna's teachings are eventually ascended to Zyayagaruk, meaning the Guardian's Hammers. Once every year, before the dawn of the first day of Rising Star, the Ecterians commemorate the glory of their lord by sharing in drink, food, song and other tales, and mating. The Festival of New Lights, as it is called, is further enhanced by the show of Ecterian archers smiting the renowned Haji stones at the sky's peak, stones embedded with the magic of the land within them, etched with the very image of snakes, serpents and other such reptilian beasts with varying colours, shining from within the clutches of rock, tossed into the skies, and precisely struck by arrows, lighting up the night sky in a show of colours unlike anything the realms had seen before. By claw and kin, by vow and storm, we stand unbroken, we stand together. Rise, new stars, the marsh remembers us. Shadowmire, capital of Ecterius, the Verdant Marsh. Shadowmire was the first Ecterian city to be constructed, or more accurately, weaved into existence by powerful druids and other wizards alike. Through the power of sorcery, formidable magi forged the first walls of the city with bramble and thorn, until the people within were strong enough to wield the stone and firmly shape it over the mud. Home of the Ecterian hierarchy, housed within the Thorned Palace, Shadowmire is among the oldest cities ever dated, with its walls standing long before humans ever ventured further into Ecterian territory with architecture they had never even dreamt of before up until that point. A large sum of the Ecterian armies are housed within the capital, working as both guardian and mentor for other warriors to come. Arcane studies are commonly conducted within the Thorned Palace, under supervision of court wizard Kyrings, where tomes are deciphered and scriptures are picked apart bit by bit until every last drop of magic has been harnessed. Among other noteworthy happenings, Shadowmire is one of the 2 Ecterian holds that houses an ironclad pact establishment for adventurers to pass and seek work in. Murkfern, Trader's Haven. Murkfern is a trading city with plentiful of sea-borne activity weighing and anchoring at its docks, with the region housing lush and lively wildlife and wild growths. Both beautiful and cunning, the wildlands surrounding Murkfern are thick and very easy to get lost in, for those who heed no mind to the road. Filled with niceties from all across the world, Murkfern is often visited by sailors, travellers of all sorts, and adventurers seeking for quick gold. Among other things, it also houses an ironclad pact establishment, which draws a lot of attention. Mudroot, the Blighted Land. Mudroot was originally similar to both Murkfern and Shadowmire in regional conditions. However, due to multiple different factors accumulating their tolls on the land time and time again throughout the years, Mudroot's land was eventually starved by wicked sorcery and turned into a war zone where life is feasted upon by the undying and the very roots of the relentless earth itself. Skinwalkers infest the wildlands of Mudroot, and the city is constantly guarded by patrols of Ecterian slayers. The city is surrounded by a trench filled to the brim with the corpses of fallen skinwalkers, their blood acting as the river which flows around the city, serving as a warning for those who come too close. The slaughtering grounds of Mudroot are constantly under watch by rangers and knights alike, who execute their orders swiftly, and their enemies even more swiftly. Ecthoran Thornfang, the Keeper's Voice. King Ecthoran Thornfang, son of former King Nojum, is the ruler of the swamps of Ecterius. Little is known about him outside of the lands of Ecterius when it comes to his personality or background. However, he is a beloved king known for his prowess in combat and sorcery, in addition to his wit. A true leader and spiritual successor for his people, Ecthoran values honor and is not ashamed to admit his devotion to the Swamp Lord of Nanaran, bearing his mark and wearing his symbols with pride and joy. He protects that which he can, and even directly intervenes if need be. He is housed in Shadowmire, the Thorned Palace to be exact, where he personally trains his guards and soldiers in combat by testing them and their fortitude in the barracks whenever General Uxim is kept busy. Having ruled over Ecterius for more than 500 years, crowned on the 7th of Silent Reign 150 after war, many have proposed the Lizard King step down from his station. He has, however, politely refused. His experience in the wars which came to shape the realm of Hakkad as mankind and the rest of civilization came to know it, has proved endlessly helpful, time and time again. Court Sorceress Kyrings, the Ragged Saint. Kyrings, whose bloodline remains a large mystery for many, often choosing to keep such a detail secret from even many of her own acquaintances, is an Ecterian sorceress of humble beginnings whose expertise lies in the arts of clerical magic, the healing of wounds, the cleansing of diseases, and the disposal of poisons. Fabled to have survived many former wars and battles serving as a field medic, Kyrings has been said to act in a fairly motherly way towards all soldiers under her command or acolytes under her supervision, while she is present within the clergy of Lofnanaran. She is said to be able to bring miracles to reality, patching up fatal wounds with a mere wave of her hands. She is commonly seen perusing around the training grounds present in Shadowmire, passing by around town, or even encountered within the halls of a great church erected in one of the Divines' names. Kyrings was once proposed to by the former human king Karthus I. She politely refused, even when the king offered her the city of Illestram and the title of Archduchess. Duke Zathar, moneybags, commercial genius. Duke Zathar, the lord of all things financial in the lands of Ecterius, is the master of trade and the holder of many an anecdotal title due to his charismatic encounters with many foreigners and natives alike. Moneybags, Gold Lifter, the River's Bank, those are among some of the many names he has come to be known by. Serving as the officially oldest member of the Ecterian hierarchy, reigning from before the ascension of King Ecthoran, having faithfully stuck by the side of King Nujum, Zathar is a cunning and sly regional expert when it comes to speechcraft and persuasion. Another common moniker, however, is the Master of Assassins, due to his previous affiliations with the Daggersworn and his involvement, commonly fabled to be active, in their work, alongside him funding their efforts. He is commonly found in Murkfern's regions, overseeing the influx of produce, and other such things such as imports and whatnot. General Uxim, the Red Death. General Uxim serves as the general and commander of the soldiers housed within Ecterius' walls. Master of the armies and guardsmen, he supplies Mudroot with ample manpower and armaments, while also ensuring the safety of the cities as a whole. He additionally has been known to fulfill the role of arcane practitioner and magus trainer, having mastered his innate shamanistic abilities and helping recruits and other warriors in his midst with their eventual improvements. He appears as a callous, cold and fierce, bloodthirsty warrior who acts in a silent yet calculated manner on the field, crimson eyes sparing few to none, and black scales quickly doused in blood. Few words are ever spoken, be they orders or demands for his soldiers or threats to his enemies, but when they are enough. His remarkable vigor and valor shown in combat has inspired many a song in his name. The Drake of Crimson Black, among some of them. He commonly patrols Madrid's regions, cleaning up sparing messes and complications. Before the eventual ascension of King Ecterius, a few noteworthy Ecterian nobles were a part of recent history, namely Nurjum Thornfang, who reigned from 1324 before war to 150 after war. King Nurjum of the Thornfang lineage reigned over the lands of Ecterius since 1324 BW until 150 AW, with his queen Githsaya of the Graveclaw bloodline joining him and bonding with one another in holy matrimony at the end of 1300 BW's Icefall on the 2nd. After they stepped down from their thrones, Nurjum handed his crown to his son, Ecthoran, born in 1300 BW, third of Silent Reign, nearing the end of 150 after W. Nurjum and Githsaya's lineage continued uninterrupted, despite their direct involvements within the great wars which ravaged the lands of Hakkad between Ecterius, the Verdant, Moralholt, and the lands of mankind. Nurjum was a man of few words, yet many intents, many goals, many understandings. When the eventual peace treaty proposed by the newly crowned King Verdalius was handed to him in the Varanthian Archon Kaljarislat Kuvis Luthum, the two sides took little time to debate their potential choices, ultimately accepting the offer after seeing the truth carried by the new, reformed Elvenkind of Moralholt. Queen Githsaya Graveclaw, who reigned from 1324 BW to 150 AW. When Queen Githsaya of the Graveclaw lineage came to Ecterius' lands, she and her blood were little more than village-tending farmhands and hunters, living off the land, praying to Ofna for the strength to protect their kind. Although her sorcery lay within the realms of witchcraft, she was capable of winning over the heart of Nurjum, who would later come to ascend to kingship and take her by his side as his queen. When they eventually integrated her lineage into the city of Shadowmire, Githsaya accepted the title of Mother of Scale and Fang, and was formally titled a member of the Thornfangs, bonding in holy matrimony with Nurjum and giving birth to what would later come to be known as the King of Ecterius, Ecthoran Thornfang, the Scaled Lord, who earned his title of the Keeper's Voice during his battles in favor of Ecterius. She, in comparison to her husband, was the more socially active of the two, despite her supposedly taboo being, even in the presence of other kings and queens. Hey there, this is Raziel, creator of the Setting of Hakkad and lore master of the lands of Lancastria, Moralholt, and beyond. This is a bit out of character, but I would like to take the time and add a little footnote to this entry in the Hakkaedi Chronicles to say thank you to the people who actually take the time to read through the site or listen to the videos. These take a lot of time, a lot more than I am willing to admit. Be it an issue with time management, willingness to invest into the recording or editing of it all, and combining that with the bloopers as well, you can see where I'm going with this. The uploading schedule has been hell, and I still haven't even been able to get a pop filter for my microphone, so expect all these videos to at some point be remade. With that out of the way, allow me to repeat my previous statement. Thank you for allowing this passion project of mine to continue being worked on, even with the minimal attention it's been getting. This all started out as some weird little thing I came up with 6 years ago out of boredom, but it quickly passed beyond that point and became something really dear and close to me. Hakkad is not just a mere fantasy setting meant for role-playing reasons to me. It is an outlet. Somewhere where I can freely unload and unpack my creative drive and watch as it flourishes, connecting little dots, dragging things all around, and drawing connections and refining and ironing out the kinks. Every little story is akin to a play in my mind. I get to sit back and imagine everything taking place before me, and I must admit it is a thrill unlike any other. On another note, I would like to address the fact that many have asked me for subtitles on these videos, and, well, I am nowhere near ready enough to prepare them by myself, but it is certainly an idea I would like to adapt to in the future. I do not know when the next video will be ready. Currently I do not even know which one I will work on. Maybe the Verdant files, but I am unsure. And while I'm here, I will also share this. Much more is planned for the future of these videos, namely addendums I will most probably combine with the main videos in larger compilations, but it's going to take some time before I will get around to those. Expect bestiaries and things of the sort to be included, but that is all for now. Again, thank you all for your time. This is Raziel, signing off.